Rome wasn't built by politicians. It was built by legions, and legions won battles. For over 1,000 years, Roman armies fought across 3 continents. Some battles expanded the empire. Some saved it from destruction. Some changed the course of Western civilization. But which battles actually mattered most? Today, I'm ranking the 10 most important battles in Roman history. Not the biggest, not the bloodiest, the most important. The ones that shaped Rome's rise, survival, and eventual fall. From desperate last stands to crushing victories, these are the battles that made Rome what it was. Let's get into it. At number 10, the Battle of Alesia, 52 BC. Gaul is in revolt. Julius Caesar has been conquering Gaul for 6 years, but now the Gallic tribes have united under a leader named Vercingetorix, and they're done with Rome. Caesar chases Vercingetorix to the hilltop fortress of Alesia and lays siege. Here's the problem. Caesar has 60,000 legionaries. Vercingetorix has 80,000 defenders inside Alesia, and a Gallic relief army of 250,000 is marching to break the siege. Caesar is outnumbered 5-1. He's surrounded. He should lose. Instead, he builds 2 sets of fortifications, one facing inward to contain Vercingetorix, one facing outward to hold off the relief army. When the Gauls attack from both sides, Caesar holds. The relief army breaks. Vercingetorix surrenders. Gaul falls. This battle ends Gallic independence forever. It secures Rome's northern frontier. It makes Julius Caesar the most powerful man in Rome, which sets up the civil war that ends the Republic. Number 10, because Alesia conquered Gaul, and Gaul became one of Rome's wealthiest, most important provinces for the next 500 years. Number 9, the Battle of Adrianople, August 9th, 378 AD. The Eastern Roman Emperor Valens faces a Gothic army in Thrace. The Goths are refugees. The Huns have driven them west, and Rome allowed them to settle in Roman territory. But Rome treated them poorly, starved them, enslaved them, exploited them. Now they're rebelling. Valens thinks this is a standard barbarian raid. He has 20,000 legionaries. He outnumbers the Goths. He attacks without waiting for reinforcements. He's wrong. The Goths have heavy cavalry. They charge the Roman flanks. The legions are surrounded, slaughtered. 2/3 of the Roman army is destroyed. Emperor Valens dies on the battlefield. His body is never found. This is catastrophic. Adrianople proves that Rome can no longer defeat barbarian armies in open battle. It shatters the myth of Roman invincibility. After Adrianople, barbarian tribes pour into the empire. Rome is forced to negotiate, to settle barbarians inside Roman borders, to rely on barbarian foederati for defense. This is the beginning of the end for the Western Roman Empire. Number 9, because Adrianople marks the moment Rome lost military dominance over the barbarians. Number 8, the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, October 28th, 312 AD. Constantine and Maxentius are fighting for control of the Western Roman Empire. Constantine marches on Rome. Maxentius has the larger army and controls the city. He should stay behind Rome's walls and wait. Instead, he marches out to meet Constantine at the Milvian Bridge. The night before the battle, Constantine reportedly has a vision. He sees a cross in the sky and hears the words, "In this sign you will conquer." He orders his soldiers to paint Christian symbols on their shields. The next day, Constantine's forces crush Maxentius. Maxentius drowns in the Tiber River trying to flee. Constantine takes Rome. Here's why this matters. Constantine becomes the first Christian Roman emperor. In 313 AD, he issues the Edict of Milan, legalizing Christianity. By the end of the 4th century, Christianity is the official religion of Rome. The Battle of the Milvian Bridge doesn't just decide who rules Rome. It decides what religion dominates the Western world for the next 2,000 years. Number 8, because this battle transformed Christianity from a persecuted sect into the dominant religion of Europe. Number 7, the Battle of Cannae. This is Rome's worst defeat ever. August 2nd, 216 BC, the Second Punic War. Hannibal Barca has invaded Italy and is terrorizing the Roman countryside. Rome assembles the largest army in its history, 86,000 men. They outnumber Hannibal 2-1. They're going to crush him and end this war. Hannibal has 50,000 men and a plan. When the Romans attack, Hannibal's center retreats, drawing the Romans forward. The Roman legions push deeper, thinking they're winning. Then Hannibal's cavalry hits both flanks. His infantry wraps around the Roman rear. The Romans are surrounded. What happens next is one of the greatest massacres in military history. 50,000 to 70,000 Romans are killed in a single day. Rome loses 1/5 of its adult male population. Entire legions are annihilated. Rome should surrender. The war should be over. But Rome doesn't surrender. Rome refuses to negotiate. Rome rebuilds. And 14 years later, Rome defeats Carthage and wins the war. Cannae is number 7 because it proves something essential about Rome. They don't give up, ever. This mentality, this refusal to accept defeat, is what makes Rome an empire. Number 6. The Battle of Actium. September 2nd, 31 BC. The Roman Republic is tearing itself apart. On one side, Octavian, Julius Caesar's adopted son, backed by the Roman Senate. On the other side, Mark Antony and Cleopatra, controlling Egypt and the eastern Mediterranean. They meet off the coast of Greece in a naval battle. Antony has more ships, but Octavian has better commanders, led by Marcus Agrippa. The battle is messy. Cleopatra's Egyptian fleet retreats early. Antony follows her. His remaining forces surrender. Within a year, Antony and Cleopatra are dead. Octavian controls the entire Roman world. He renames himself Augustus. He becomes Rome's first emperor. The Republic is dead. The empire begins. Actium ends a century of civil wars. It establishes the Principate, the system of imperial rule that governs Rome for the next 300 years. Without Actium, there's no Roman Empire as we know it. There's no Pax Romana. There's no Augustus, no Julio Claudians, no imperial Rome. Number 6, because this battle transforms Rome from a republic into an empire. Number 5, the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, September 9 AD. 3 Roman legions, nearly 20,000 men, are marching through the forests of Germania. They're led by Publius Quinctilius Varus, the governor of Germania. Their guide is a Germanic chieftain named Arminius. He's been educated in Rome. He's a Roman citizen. He's trusted. He's also planning the greatest ambush in Roman history. As the legions march through the narrow forest paths, Germanic warriors attack from all sides. The Romans can't form proper battle lines. They're trapped in the mud and trees. For 3 days, the Germans slaughter them. All 3 legions are destroyed. Varus commits suicide. The eagle standards are captured, a humiliation Rome can't forgive. When Augustus hears the news in Rome, he's devastated. According to the historian Suetonius, he bangs his head against the palace walls, screaming, "Varus, give me back my legions!" Rome never conquers Germania. The Rhine River becomes the permanent border. Germania remains free. This is number 5 because Teutoburg Forest stops Roman expansion into northern Europe. If Rome had conquered Germania, European history would be unrecognizable. Number 4, the Battle of Carrhae, 53 BC. Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome and member of the first triumvirate with Caesar and Pompey, invades Parthia. Crassus has 40,000 legionaries. He's arrogant. He thinks this will be an easy conquest. The Parthians have other ideas. At Carrhae, the Parthian general Surena uses pure cavalry tactics. Heavy cataphract cavalry charge and retreat. Light horse archers circle the Romans, firing arrows endlessly. The Romans form defensive squares, but Parthian arrows pierce their shields. There's no escape. After hours of slaughter, Crassus tries to negotiate. The Parthians kill him during the parley. According to legend, they pour molten gold down his throat as mockery of his greed. 20,000 Romans are killed. 10,000 are captured. Rome loses 7 eagle standards. Carrhae is number 4 because it establishes the eastern limit of Roman power. Rome never conquers Parthia or Persia. The eastern frontier remains contested for 700 years. This battle creates the geopolitical divide between West and East that persists for centuries. Number 3, the Battle of Zama, 202 BC. The Second Punic War has raged for 16 years. Hannibal has terrorized Italy. Rome has been brought to its knees. But Rome adapted. They learned from Hannibal, and they produced their own genius, Scipio Africanus. Scipio invades North Africa and forces Hannibal to return home to defend Carthage. At Zama, they meet. Hannibal has war elephants. Scipio lets them through gaps in his lines, neutralizing them. Hannibal has veteran infantry. Scipio's cavalry outflanks them. When the battle ends, Carthage is defeated. Hannibal flees. The war is over. Rome forces Carthage to surrender its fleet, pay massive reparations, and abandon Spain. This victory makes Rome the dominant power in the Western Mediterranean. Spain becomes Roman. North Africa becomes Roman territory. Carthage will never threaten Rome again. Zama is number 3 because it ends the existential threat to Rome's survival and launches Rome's transformation from regional power to Mediterranean empire. Number 2. The Battle of Philippi, 44 BC. Julius Caesar is assassinated by senators who want to save the Republic. 2 years later, the assassins Brutus and Cassius face Caesar's heirs, Octavian and Mark Antony. October 42 BC, Philippi, Greece. The armies are massive, over 100,000 men on each side. This is a fight for the future of Rome. The battle is actually 2 battles, fought 3 weeks apart. In the first battle, both sides win and lose. Cassius thinks his side is losing and commits suicide. 3 weeks later, Octavian and Antony attack again. Brutus's forces collapse. He commits suicide. The assassins are dead. The Republic is dead with them. Philippi decides that Rome will never return to republican government. The future belongs to emperors, not senators. This is number 2 because it kills any chance of restoring the Roman Republic. Imperial rule becomes inevitable. And finally, number 1, the Battle of the Catalonian Plains, also known as the Battle of Chalons. June 20th, 451 AD. Attila the Hun has invaded Gaul. He's already destroyed cities across the empire. He's the most feared warlord in Europe. If Attila conquers Gaul, Western civilization might not survive. The Roman general Flavius Aetius assembles a desperate alliance. Romans, Visigoths, Franks, Alans, everyone who Attila hasn't destroyed yet. They meet Attila's Huns on the Catalonian plains. The battle is chaos. Tens of thousands die. The Visigothic king Theodoric is killed. The fighting continues until nightfall. When dawn comes, Attila retreats. He doesn't retreat because he's defeated. He retreats because he's fought to a standstill, and a stalemate is enough. Attila never conquers Gaul. He dies 2 years later. The Hunnic Empire collapses. Western Europe survives. This is number 1 because if Rome loses at Chalons, Attila conquers Gaul. Western Roman civilization might be destroyed decades earlier. The survival of Western Europe as we know it hangs on this battle. Chalons doesn't save the Western Roman Empire that falls 25 years later, but it saves the provinces and peoples that will become medieval Europe. Rome's history is written in blood. These 10 battles defined an empire that ruled for 1,000 years.